All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to move on very quickly to take a look at issues around domestic football in Nigeria. But before we do that, let's just quickly take you to Brazil. Remember, we spoke about Carlos Alberto Torres, former captain of the Seleção, that's the Brazilian national team, who passed on after a heart attack. Only the family, friends of Carlos Alberto Torres expectedly paying tribute to the late soccer legend, who died at the age of 72. All over the world, everyone has got something to say because this was an iconic footballer. And I jokingly talked about the Nigerian angle to all of this. He was supposed to come here to work. Yeah. It was unveiled at a World Press Conference, yeah. And he says he wants to go and pick up a few things in Brazil and return. I never came back. Fortunately, that's the man there lying in state.
Yeah, you know, very, very sad. At 72, you could have some mixed feelings, but for the close relatives, I mean, it could be very, very tragic. And like you said, very iconic footballer. In 1970 World Cup at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico, he scored one of the most memorable goals in the history of the World Cup. And I think about 9 players touched that ball before Carlos Alberto scored that goal. You know, so he's still fondly remembered. And a whole lot of Brazilians, fans across the world, still remember what he was able to achieve with the Brazilian national team. And you also remember that he also was the captain of that team in 1970. So a lot to talk about this man who has given so much glory to his country. We can only wish his family, that God should grant them the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. And across the world, sympathizers, they have to be consoled. You have to be consoled by what the man has achieved, as a footballer, and thereafter he still remained. I think till his dying days, he was a commentator. He was a football pundit, and he still contributed so much, even towards his dying days.
And of course, this weekend, all the games in the Brazilian professional leagues, they will observe a minute of silence to honor the memory of the fallen Carlos Alberto Torres. All right, let's talk about the Super Eagles now, guys. There are very top sources saying that before the end of the week, the list of the Super Eagles for the game against Algeria will be out. Only, guys, let's just briefly talk about this because this is a very good time for you to be Super Eagles manager. A lot of our players are doing well in their clubs, and you can probably call up all those who are doing well at this point because we just have a good number of players who are on top of their game at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of players doing pretty well. You talk about Alex Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho, who started tonight for Man City, Ideye, Igalo, Isaac Success. Look at Moses, terrific performance over the weekend. Plenty of stars. Ahmed Musa also scored his first Premier League goal. So, like you said, this is the best moment to be Super Eagles manager when you have a lot of competition, a lot of quality in the team. But you can't bring in 40 players to come and play. You have to start 11, then you have about 7 on the bench. So about the team players to work with on the match day.
As an advocate of the local league, Toby, are you worried with the stories making the rounds about home-based players? Not many of them will be able to get their chance because the league is off and they are not in the same shape as those who are abroad. Is that a good enough excuse for excluding home-based players as is being speculated in some quarters?
Yeah, I think I agree with the coaches. In as much as that we had the sentiment of having NPFL players in the squad. Also, fitness is very key. These players have been on break for more than 16, 17 days now, and then they will still be on break to November 12. I think fitness will be something that will get the coach very worried. I'm not sure the players are keeping fit. It depends. I don't know when the players departed after the Ndola game. Maybe they have a program, with the coach, to keep them fit.
The Ndola game was the last week
for the players.
The week before was the last week for the league.
I mean, it is a very good excuse. At this stage, we need our top players, we need our top quality, to battle Algeria. I mean, they can excuse the home page. That doesn't mean they don't have something to contribute to the team. But the season is back. I'm very sure these players will also get another opportunity to be part of the Super Eagles squad.
Coach Ganadro is in London. He's been meeting some of the players. telling them, preparing them, prepping them up for the game against Algeria. He's met with Mikel. Mikel is in a very peculiar situation, not playing any game so far for Chelsea, but he's the captain of the team. Of course, Odion Ighalo has also been struggling to get goals in the green and white, even for his club. And he's also met with the coach of Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, where Alex Iwobi plays his football. Yeah. And Alex Wenger, I beg your pardon, Arsene Wenger talked about Iwobi needing to be a little bit more prolific in front of goal.
Yeah, there was also a picture when the slide was going off, General with Iwobi's father.
Okay.
You know, on the stands.
Yeah, yeah. During the game between Arsenal and Reading.
You know, so yeah, I've read a lot of reactions, people criticizing the move. But the question I asked them, what do you want the coach to do? To sit in his in his house in Abuja and watch TV?
The league is off.
And
really.
This man earns so much, and the league is off. So why not go and see some of these players? We have interviewed some of these players in the past, and they complain that we don't show enough affection, that the football officials don't come to see them, the coaches don't come to see them. You know, these footballers are human beings. Sometimes they could be emotional. You know, just mere visit could be the turning point.
For someone like Ighalo, confidence level, I mean, confidence-wise?
Then even meeting their coaches, get first-hand information on how best to use them, get tips. No information.
Particularly someone like
information is too small. You know, so for me, I think it's a good one. He's going to Europe. It's a good one. See some of the players. When they come for the match against Algeria, you don't have enough time. You could begin your tactics, your team talk with them. This is what I want you to do. Do this, do that, and you know. So you kickstart the preparation for the all-important game against Algeria. So I think it's a good one. It should not be criticized. The coaches should go out and see the players. I don't see anything wrong in that.
And for the fact that the league is even off in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So there's nothing he will be doing in Abuja.
Apart from Mekechukwu Ezenwa, who is the Super Eagles goalkeeper, who is still in the final of the Federation Cup, and probably still training actively because of the Cup final. Only very few of the home-based players who are in the team are active at this point in time. So maybe you want to agree that the focus is on those who are abroad. If the league was on and these players were playing week in, week out, there wouldn't be an excuse for not calling them up to the team.
General Roy has shown this belief in the home-based players that they could be part of the program. Like I had a discussion with Alimi when Roy came to his room in Spain when they went for tour to discuss with him. I wanted to play for the Super. See, the home-based players understood this. Even if you don't invite them, like I said, psychologically most of the players are not even ready, and we are playing against Algeria. We need players that play actively. Yes, I know a lot of mixed reaction. Mikel is also playing well. He's not playing at Chelsea, and he will be part of the squad. But don't forget, Mikel is having in a regular training season with Chelsea. But for most of these players, they are at home. We are not even sure if they are keeping fit. We are not even sure if they have any program up the season. So it will be wise.
I think it was Coach Wande that sent a program to the team that look, you guys are going on off season.
You revealed that to us.
But yeah, you guys are going on off season, but keep yourself in shape. Do these programs. And that's what they do abroad. When your players are going on off-season, you send them a program to keep in shape. And I think it's high time we started things like that in Nigeria. But your players are going on off-season.
From the club side.
Yeah, from the clubs. Your players are going on off-season. You tell them, guys, yes, you are taking things easy. There are no games to play. But you need to do this. Keep yourself in shape. Train up to this extent every minute. Spend so amount of minutes every day. And be thinking about when you will come back to action. Don't had a lot of weight, and then we are spending the first 3-4 months trying to get you back to shape. We should begin to think along that line.
But first and foremost, you have to pay the players before you ask them to keep fit during off season.
You have
to pay the players. If you don't pay the players,
even if you don't pay them,
they will not be in the right frame of mind.
But these are
listen to any off season program.
I agree with you. But if you are taking your career very seriously, and you know there's an opportunity for you to be in the Super Eagles for a game like the one that we're having,
that should be the extra motivation.
That should be the extra motivation for you to do something extra.
So you see, the fact is, I've seen some NPFL players of the season. I've spoken to them. They engage themselves in a couple of training, but there should be a program that will be linked with what you
we're not just talking of going for all-star, going for all-star playing.
There should be a daily program.
There should be a program that you follow. I mean, just watch out for these EPL guys when they're on off-season. Someone like Odion Ighalo. Just watch out what they do. There's a time they go to the beach. There's a time they go to the gym. They are on holidays, yes, no problem about that, but they are conscious of the fact that once we get back, there is a certain level of fitness expected of us as professional players. And I think that's what we should also begin to do right now in the league. Let's spend more time now to talk about the league. This time, not the players. Let's talk about the managers. Let's talk about managerial situation in the league. We will talk about deals that are official, because we're talking about the coaches who are moving, the ones who have moved, and the ones who have been moved. Imam Amakakabo earlier today confirmed he has now signed a new 2-year deal with Rangers. That's good news.
Yeah, that's
good news.
That's the way to go to him.
Rangers have tidied it up,
especially when you are campaigning on about 3 competitions. Rangers will be playing on the continent next season, and you need to tidy up everything about the
and the guy
aspect.
performed wonders last season.
Yes, but we have seen coaches win titles and they were asked to leave. That's happened severally, but you have to get it sorted out, and they have done that. Then the man can come up with his program ahead of all this, especially the CAF Champions League. So I think that's the right step in the right direction.
And of course, for MFM, initially there were reports that Fidelis Ilechuku had left his post, but we have confirmation now that the guy is staying at MFM. And for me, I think it's positive. Let this man build on the success and the failures of last season, how they were able to survive on the last day, and be able to put in a better shift for MFM this season. A lot of speculations. Onye Gwenga we're told he's on his way to the People's Elephant. Speculation. 3SC came out with a statement and said Gwenga Gumbote is going nowhere. But the last time I checked, he only signed a 1-year deal. And unless they offer him an extension, and he agrees with the extension, Gwenga Gumbote could rightly be on his way to Enyimba.
These things happen to him. We have seen a lot of players, coaches, swear that they won't go to this
kiss
club.
The badge.
They will kiss the badge.
They kiss the badge of their club.
Jose Mourinho is a typical example. And the next time they are off. It's all about money.
Let me read the other speculations, and then we'll talk about it extensively. Abdullahi Makaiba, everybody is saying he's going to Aqua United. It's still speculation. It's not confirmed. It's not official yet. Okay, Emodi, we were told he could be back in the Premier League. This time going to Abia Warriors is also not official. It's just mere speculation at the moment. Baba Ganaru, of course, we know he left Kano Pillars after what wasn't a very good season. But we are not sure of where he's going. Some people are saying he's going to Gombe. Some are saying he's going to Wiki. And then, of course, Kennedy Boboye, we're also told could be on his way to North Central, to be precise. Plateau United will replace Zakari Baraji, who is one of the coaches that we have listed here, has been available. Solomon Ogbeide left Sunshine after his contract expired. It wasn't renewed. Zakari Baraji says for interference and a very inconducive environment, it could be leaving. Ladan Boso wants mainstream football, not far in the northeast. And of course, the Bulgarian, that's what they call him, Maurice Coman, is also there, available. Guys, these are the available coaches. Teams without a manager: Wiki, Plateau United, Kano Pillars, El Kanemi Warriors of Meduguri, and Aqua United.
What of Enyimba? Their coach is on holiday.
They still have a coach.
They still have a coach. Officially.
No statement of disengagement. Someone resigned.
He's holiday in the UK.
Yeah, like
it's off season.
Yeah.
It needs to all through the season it was there. His family is in the UK.
Yeah. So it needs to go.
He needs to recharge his batteries and be better prepared for a tough season. He didn't have a fantastic.
I think we have a different exclusive.
This thing is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind.
It wasn't all bad for Paul Agbogun. For the first time in how many years?
In 4 years.
Enyimba got to the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Whether you like it or not, that was
for the first time in 15 years, no title.
You have to balance.
It happens.
You have to balance it.
And you could recall also for the first time in 32 years, Rangers won. So there's a lot of changes.
And you could balance it. Rangers are not playing at home. I beg your pardon. Enyimba are not playing at home.
Tony, I agree with you.
Enyimba are not playing at home. Enyimba were playing away from home.
I agree with you.
It's very tough.
But the challenge was obvious from day one. They won't play in Aba this season. So I really don't know how they could not prepare the team to play off Aba. But I mean, it could have been a big advantage for them.
We need to go on a break now, but we'll come back and continue to talk about this. Enyimba and the just concluded season, and of course the preview for the next season. We'll come back and continue our discussions after this timeout. Join us again.